From a fatal collision to a recent crash landing, it may feel like air travel is becoming more dangerous. But government data shows a record low number of airplane incidents nationwide last month. Still, the fear of flying is there for many. We're joined live by commercial pilot and licensed psychotherapist Michaela Renee Johnson with ways to overcome flight anxiety. This is something a lot of people are talking about, so thank you for being with us. And, you know, you and I were just talking in the break, airline travel is still one of the safest ways to travel.
It truly is. And it's also perfectly normal for your human mind to see the spectacular nature of these really carnal events and become afraid. We go to a place called fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, where we really start to assess whether or not it's actually safe for us to do this. And the answer is the statistics show it is, but it's really hard to kind of rationally talk yourself out of what your mind is trying to protect you from, which is imminent death.
Yeah, well, yes, there's that. I always call it, I feel like I have the rational part of my brain and then the irrational part that I have to kind of talk down sometimes. But as a commercial airline pilot, have you felt maybe a little increase in anxiety or fear? Do you feel that too?
Oh, absolutely. I have experienced every adjective under the sun emotionally in the cockpit. I think it's perfectly normal for our human range of expression to come out when we might have all the training that we need, but still have elements that are out of our control, like weather. Now, that being said, I still believe that these pilots are very well trained. They have an incredibly supportive group of people that are helping make sure that they are in the best condition to be traveling with passengers. And I do believe aviation is still a beautiful way to get from point A to point B.
And fast. It's convenient. It can be frustrating. I mean, there's other parts of air travel that can be frustrating with other passengers and baggage and all that kind of stuff. But I do want to point out there's a Cleveland Clinic report released last year that estimated that more than 25 million Americans have aerophobia, which is a fear of flying. Do we kind of know where this stems from? You talk about going into, you know, fight, flight, fear, fawn, but is there a real reason inside our brain that we go to here? Is it a lack of control, or is there something else going on?
That's exactly right. We're sitting in the back seat of an airplane. We have no idea what's going up in the cockpit. We don't have anything, we don't have any control over what's happening outside of the aircraft. So it's perfectly natural when we're feeling out of control to kind of go to this place where it's like, ooh, I'm not sure because I can't really dictate the circumstances or the outcome. I don't have the full decision making, within my capacity. So it's perfectly normal to kind of be afraid and to go to this place that's like, at least with a car, I can hold the steering wheel. Even though statistics do show that is not as safe as air travel, it feels like we're in more control because we're holding on to the steering wheel. Yeah,
that makes sense. Can you talk about ways people can calm their fears while on the airplane? I know sometimes that turbulence hits. I watch people kind of grip their seat a little bit. Well, how can you kind of calm yourself in the air and maybe before you board?
Well, and it's ironic that turbulence is one of those things because it does suddenly feel like, wow, the space around me is not what I would expect it to be. It's not peaceful. It's not calm. It's kind of causing a lot of angst. And so turbulence is one of those situations that creates a lot of anxiety, but it's actually one of the lesser things to be concerned about in the airplane itself, actually, which is kind of ironic. What I like to do is encourage people, feel the emotion, give yourself a minute to have that expression. It's normal. Thank it for being there. Say, hey, human body, human brain, you're doing a great job at protecting me. And also, I'm here now. So I'm going to do a little bit of thought stopping. I'm maybe going to pick up that book that I've been wanting to read, or maybe do a little watercoloring. Maybe I'm going to journal. Deep breathing can also be a really good way to kind of calm the central nervous system down. There's a lot of ways that you can take a little bit of authority over the experience that you're having.
Okay, can I just say too, your emotional support dog might work too. I see him in the background. So cute.
Walter's literally in the video right now. Yeah, emotional support dogs are fantastic.
All right. Well, Michaela, thank you both so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
That's hilarious. My dogs will only stay quiet too if I let them lay next to me. So I totally get it.